23 years ago, a simple family rides a car to transfer to their new home. Along the way, they take a road not meant for humans and find themselves in a mysterious place. Here, problems will arise, and Chihiro and the rest of her family will be spirited away from the real world. On one peaceful summer day, Chihiro and her parents drive to their new home. Along the way, his dad tries using an alternative road, which leads them to a weird little empty town. Soon after, they found a store filled with food, but there wasn't even a single store attendant. Chihiro's parents can't fight the urge to taste the flavorful meat, so they gobble up the food like they are in an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Chihiro knew it was not right, so she didn't eat. She tried stopping them, but they were too indulged in eating each other's meat. Chihiro's father ate her mother's meat. Sorry, perhaps my narration got spirited away too. When Chihiro roamed around the area, she spotted a passing tram, and as she looked around, a young boy named Haku appeared out of nowhere. Haku quickly pushes Chihiro away, tells her to go back, and uses a spell to delay the time for a little while. Chihiro, despite being confused as fuck, rushes back to the food store, only to find that her parents have been turned into pigs. Not long after, the streets were lit up, and several dark entities appeared in the empty town. Something even stranger occurred as time went on because Chihiro's body began to vanish. She hasn't had time to react, for the ship filled with a multitude of monsters is already in front of her. Frightened by what she saw, Chihiro hid and cried. Luckily, Haku appeared again and gave her a pill that would stop her from vanishing in that world. Chihiro swallowed it, and her body returned to normal. They then moved to the bathhouse, where Haku instructed Chihiro to hold her breath as they crossed the bridge to prevent the ghosts from discovering her human identity. Chihiro took a deep breath, and Haku led her across the bridge. Unfortunately, a monster frog discovered the truth, so Haku quickly controlled the situation. They then escaped to the back garden, where Haku revealed an escape route to Chihiro. He told Chihiro to find Kamaji and begged for him to stay and work there. Soon enough, Haku went the other way to distract the hunting ghosts. Chihiro then went to the boiler room and begged Kamaji for a job. However, Kamaji told her that he was no longer hiring a helper. Suddenly, Lin appears and Kamaji tells Lin to take Chihiro to Yubaba and the rest is up to her own luck. Chihiro was then taken to Yubaba's room, where she told her that she wanted a job. However, Yubaba jumped in front of Chihiro, telling her she was not qualified at all. Luckily, Yubaba changed her mind and asked her to sign a contract. Then, she took Chihiro's name without permission and changed it to Sen. Haku then showed up, and Yubaba asked him to look after Chihiro. Haku told everyone that Chihiro's human scent would be gone in 3 days. Then, Lin took Chihiro to his room, where she gave her a pair of work clothes. The next day, Haku led Chihiro to a farm, where she found her parents, who had turned into 2 fat pigs. Haku comforted Chihiro, and he gave Chihiro back his clothes with the greeting card containing her name. He even reveals that Yubaba steals people's names, and as soon as people forget who they are, they will never find their way home again.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap! No bullshit, bro!
Haku was one of the victims, and he had already forgotten his real name.
Oh shit, here we go again.
While Chihiro does her work in the bathhouse, No-Face secretly watches over her. When Chihiro needed help, he was also there for her. No-Face felt that Chihiro was a genuine spirit because Chihiro was the only one who showed care for him. Soon after, a customer called Stink Spirit entered the bathhouse, and his body was covered in foul-smelling mud. All of the bathhouse staff didn't want to entertain him, so Yubaba told Chihiro to handle the stinky customer. However, Chihiro told Yubaba that her breath was no different.
Emotional damage!
Nonetheless, Chihiro takes care of the stink spirit, and it plunges itself into the bathtub. When Chihiro was cleaning the dirt off him, Chihiro found a bike stuck on his side. Yubaba immediately orders her employee to pull it out. Then, a massive pile of human waste appeared. As it turned out, the stink spirit was a river god whose body became contaminated by the human waste dumped into the river. On his way out, the river god gave Chihiro a pill, which was believed to have magical powers. When the river god left, he also left several grains of gold for them. Everyone scrambled for it, and at that moment, No-Face realized that everyone loved gold. No-Face then used the gold to lure the shopkeeper and asked everyone to come and serve him. At that moment, No-Face finally felt valued and acknowledged, something he had never experienced before. The next day, a white dragon appeared, and it was chased down by several Shikigami papers. Chihiro calls the dragon to save it and closes the door immediately. It turned out that the white dragon was Haku's monster transformation. He then quickly flew away, and Chihiro went after him. However, she met No Face at the bathhouse, and he offered her a mound of gold. Chihiro was not interested because she was worried about Haku's safety. Disheartened, No Face became extremely mad. Then, he grabbed the shopkeepers and ate them. Meanwhile, Yubaba's twin sister Zeniba appeared and turned Yubaba's giant baby into a little mouse. Then, Zeniba told Chihiro that Haku was a thief who stole her very important seal. Haku took advantage of Zeniba's distraction and escaped with Chihiro into the boiler room. Suddenly, Haku was in so much pain, so Chihiro fed him half of the magical pill given to him by the river god. Not long after, Haku vomited a black liquid along with Zeniba's seal. Haku regained his human form, and Chihiro decided to return the seal to Zeniba. Kamaji then gave tram tickets to Chihiro to reach Zeniba's place. Elsewhere, No Face had become uncontrollable, and even Yubaba was powerless to intervene. When Chihiro saw No Face, she fed him the remaining half of the magical pill, making No Face vomit severely. After throwing up everything he had consumed, he reverted to his old self. Realizing that the place was no good for him, Chihiro decided to take No Face along with her. They rode together on the tram and later arrived at Zeniba's place. Chihiro immediately returned the seal, and Zeniba was so happy that she gave Chihiro a special ponytail to keep her safe from any harm. Haku went to Yubaba and revealed that her giant baby was actually missing. She was about to unleash her anger on Haku, but he told her to bring him back in exchange for sending Chihiro and her parents back to the human world. Moments later, Haku found Chihiro, and Zeniba forgave him for what he had done. Haku then takes Chihiro and the giant baby with him, while No Face stays with Zeniba as her assistant. Along the way, fragments of Haku's memories begin to come back. It turns out that Chihiro accidentally fell into a river when she was a child, and Haku saved her. He was actually a river god called Kohaku, and he remembered everything, making him shed his dragon scales as he recognized himself again. After returning the giant baby to Yubaba, she puts Chihiro to her last challenge. Yubaba asks Chihiro to find his parents among the pigs, and if she does, they will be freed from that world. Chihiro tells her that her parents were not part of the choices, and at that moment, the contract disappeared because she answered it correctly. As Chihiro and Haku parted ways, he told her not to look back until he successfully exited the town. Finally, Chihiro found her parents waiting for her outside as if nothing had happened.